Hello and welcome to the Screencast about screencasts. So I am Ben McCausland and I'm a middle school teacher at Mexico Middle School in New York State, and I'm going to tell you why I like screencasts, what are screencasts, and why I think you might like them as well. So we'll start with what is a screencast. So a screencast is a video of what is happening on your desktop or laptop or even in your iPad, and it's also your voice. Some teachers even throw their face in there using a webcam. So what students can do is they can go watch that video outside of the classroom, or you can even use them inside of the classroom. So it's a recording of what is happening on the screen along with narration by you or someone else. So why should you use screencasting? Well, these are some of the reasons that have been great for me. Starting here with subplans. If you're not ready to do a flipped classroom, for instance, you can just use them once in a while when you have to be out of the room during that new lesson. The sub can just hit play and it's you teaching the lesson perfectly. Helping parents. I get tons of parents who have thanked me for doing a flipped classroom because they sit with their kids and do the video right along with them. Flipped classroom. So I have a flipped classroom. It is essential for a flipped classroom that they do the lesson outside of class time. It is self-paced. So students watch the video. They can watch it several times. They can pause in between. They can, if they're a slow writer, they can pause it at every other minute just to catch up with writing. You can use it to explain something. So maybe you're, again, not flipping, but you want kids to sign up for an account for Quizlet or do something, and you can make a very short screencast of you doing something on the computer and talking about it, and post that to a website or post that to YouTube and have kids watch it so you don't have to be there at home with them while they're doing this. You can use it as a station activity. So you can do a really short screencast on a new topic. You can't be at every station, but maybe a digital you can be at one or two of the stations. And also I like it because I teach one time. I teach one time to a blank audience, but it's a perfect lesson. It goes really well. And I only have to do it the one time. I don't have to worry about, oops, I didn't say it for my third period class, but my second period class, they got it. And then I have to remember that the next day. So these are just some of the reasons why screencasting for me has been great. So let's say you decided to dive in. What's the process of doing a screencast? Well, this is in particular would be a screencast for a lesson. So you want to first, just like any lesson, identify what your learning target is, and it should be very focused, something very specific. What's the goal for the student? What do you want them to do what do you want them to be able to do, after they're done watching the video? A script. As you can see, I don't really have a script right now. I've done this a lot of times and I'm comfortable with kind of winging it. But as you can see, I have these slides, so they have something to talk about. So winging it works sometimes, but I would say it's better to write a script, at least a loose table of contents, so to speak, before you start. You want to make sure you have all your resources. This is a big thing. You don't want to get halfway through and realize you didn't have that picture you wanted. So have everything ready to go in your screencast. You can always pause and do something else for a minute, but you really want to have everything in one sitting. So tools. This is something you might have to decide in the beginning too. Once you get going, there are lots of tools, and we have the next slide is going to help us decide maybe what tool is the best for you. So that's something you have to make a decision on. What tool do I want to use to make mine? And then lastly, distribution. How are you going to get the kids to see the video? Does your school have a website that they can go to? Will you use YouTube? Is that going to be an issue because it's blocked at your school? Will you use Schoology or another learning management system? I personally use two. We post it to Schoology and onto YouTube so that they have more than one option. In one of the programs I use lets me do both of those things very quickly. Getting into the more technical stuff, these are the tools of the trade. If you have iPads, and that's the easiest thing at your disposal, there are lots of little programs that help. EduCreations makes one, Show Me makes another. When I use an iPad, I use Explain Everything, and it costs a little bit of money, but once you pay, I think it's a $3 or some kind of charge, you have everything. There's no subscription. You just can save your videos to your camera roll, which then you can send out to anywhere you want to put them after that. So those are some options. I would just download those and play with them and see which ones you like better. Explain Everything has a lot of animated type of tools too. For a computer, which is my preferred method, because a lot of the stuff I had before I started doing screencasting was already on a computer, and it just records what is on your computer. So a couple of the options: Jing, Screencast-O-Matic, Screener. The last two, they're very similar. I have a Screencast-O-Matic account, and I can input my YouTube credentials, and I just hit one single button to upload to YouTube, as long as I have it named correctly. And it does tags, it does all that stuff, and it puts it right into my account. But I can also just save it as a file, and I also do that, and I upload it to one of our school storage options, and then from there I link it on Schoology. So there's lots of options that you can try. I put the money thing there with the UGG because a lot of, especially apps, what they'll want to do is get you hooked to their program, and then you realize you can only store maybe 10 videos before you run out of space, and then they want you to pay some money to get some more space. And that could be a little bit tricky situation. That's why I like Explain Everything. It's a few bucks up front, and then that's it. You never have to pay again. And then Screencast-O-Matic, I use that because the yearly fee is pretty small, and for that you get a ton of extra abilities. Hopefully I've convinced you that screencasts are something that are viable in the classroom, even if you're only going to dabble. If you want to find out more, there's a couple of links here that I have found helpful when I first started. We do use Schoology at our school, and this link will take you to the Schoology group for flipped classrooms, and you get a lot of personal support there if you join that group, and it's totally free. Alright, good luck on your endeavors. Feel free to email me if you have any questions.